From an anonymous tip to an impeachment, a timeline of key moments in the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal. In June 1995, Monica Lewinsky's move to Washington, D.C. was unremarkable. She was a 21-year-old recent college grad with an unpaid internship in the office of President Bill Clinton's chief of staff Leon Panetta, landed with the help of a family connection. But, as the nation later learned, things happened quickly from that point, as it was that year that she began the relationship with the president that would last about 2 years and lead to an epoch-shaping scandal. The relationship between Lewinsky and President Clinton came to light 20 years ago, and the fallout would dominate 1998's news. And even 20 years later, the scandal continues to serve as a reference point for American politics, from Lewinsky's tweets, for example, her quip that blaming the intern is so 1990s. After Senator Marco Rubio called out a journalism intern over a story, to President Trump's addition of Clinton impeachment lawyer Emmett Flood to his own legal team. Below is a glimpse, with 2 decades of hindsight, at how that historic year unfolded. Jan. 7, Lewinsky signed an affidavit stating that she never had a sexual relationship with Clinton, at the request of attorneys representing Paula Jones, who had accused Clinton of sexual harassment in 1994. January 12, independent counsel Kenneth Starr, who had been investigating Whitewater, a scandal-plagued Arkansas real estate venture with which the Clintons had been involved, receives more than 20 hours of tapes of phone conversations that seem to contradict the affidavit. January 13, at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Pentagon City, Virginia, Lewinsky dishes more about the relationship to Tripp, who's been secretly wired by FBI agents, per Starr's orders. Jan. 16, a Court of Appeals panel gives Starr the green light to add the Clinton-Lewinsky allegations to his portfolio to see if she lied under oath. Tripp tells Jones's lawyers about Lewinsky's affair with the president. January 21, Drudge publishes allegations that Lewinsky had kept a garment with Clinton's dried semen. Mainstream news outlets pick up his report over the course of the week. FBI tests, however, find no DNA evidence on Lewinsky's clothes. January 26, President Clinton denies the report on television, uttering what would become one of the most memorable lines of the scandal: "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." January 27, on the Today Show, First Lady Hillary Clinton dismissed the allegations as a vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced his run for president. January 29, U.S. District Court Judge Susan Weber Wright rules that the Lewinsky scandal can't be incorporated into the Jones suit, arguing the matter is not essential to the core issues in this case. February 6, Clinton says in a press conference that he won't resign. February 11, retired Secret Service agent Louis C. Fox became the first person to publicly say that he saw the president and Lewinsky alone together, The Washington Post reports. March 15, Kathleen Willey, a campaigner for and donor to Clinton's in 1992 presidential campaign, tells 60 Minutes that Clinton groped her in the Oval Office in 1993. March 21, President Clinton moves to invoke executive privilege to prevent top aides from testifying about private conversations that they had with him. April 1, a judge dismisses Paula Jones's sexual harassment suit over a lack of evidence. Paula Jones will file an appeal at the end of July. April 29, D.C. Circuit Court Judge Norma Holloway Johnson, who would preside over the grand jury investigation into the affair, rejects Lewinsky's lawyer's argument that she has an immunity agreement with Starr. May 22, Judge Holloway says Secret Service agents must testify before the grand jury in the Lewinsky case, rejecting an argument that they have protective function privilege. June 2, Clinton's lawyers stop pursuing his claim of executive privilege, and the media argues that's because he didn't want to be known as the first president since Richard M. Nixon to take an executive privilege claim to the Supreme Court. July 17, subpoenaed Secret Service agents report to the grand jury, and Clinton himself is served with a subpoena that compels him to testify. July 27, Lewinsky meets with Starr's prosecutors in New York City. The next day, they announce an immunity deal for her. July 29, Clinton agrees to testify before the grand jury voluntarily. August 3, a blood sample is taken from Clinton for DNA testing against stains from the blue dress taken from Lewinsky. The story becomes public news on August 19. August 17, Clinton testifies to the grand jury for more than 4 hours on closed-circuit television. He admits to inappropriate intimate contact but also says that he had given accurate evidence in January, arguing that, it depends on what the meaning of the word is. Bill Clinton confesses on television to the American people that he did indeed have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky, on August 17, 1998. September 9, Congress receives 2 copies of Starr's 445-page report on the investigation, and supporting evidence, which take up 36 boxes. In the report, he details the findings of his 4-year, $52 million investigation, only mentioning the Whitewater land deal a handful of times. The report cites 11 impeachable offenses. September 14, a CNN/USA Today/Gallup poll finds that Clinton's approval is rating up, at 64%. Meanwhile, 31% think he should be impeached and 36% say he should resign. October 5, the House Judiciary Committee votes along party lines to recommend an impeachment inquiry. October 8, the House of Representatives votes to begin an open-ended impeachment inquiry, allowing the House Judiciary Committee to draw up charges based on Starr's report allegations. November 3, in 1998's midterm elections, Democrats score unexpected gains, adding 5 seats in the House while the ratio of Republicans to Democrats remains the same in the Senate. December 12, Clinton says he won't resign, and again denies lying under oath. That same day, the House Judiciary Committee approves a 4th article of impeachment, alleging falsehoods in his answers to the 81 questions the committee had asked. December 19, the House of Representatives votes to impeach President Clinton on 2 of the 4 articles of impeachment, the charge of perjury in his August. January 7, 1999, the Senate begins its trial of President Clinton. In an impeachment trial, the Supreme Court's Chief Justice presides and the 100 senators serve as jurors. January 27, 1999, the Senate rejects a motion to dismiss impeachment charges. February 12, 1999, the Senate finishes the impeachment trial, acquitting Clinton on both charges. The votes come in at 55 to 45 on perjury and 50 to 50 on obstruction of justice.